You have finally returned. Much has happened since you were away. The house has been sundered, not by Tuatha, but by ourselves. The house has rebelled. The other members of the house have marched against the Tuatha. I'm afraid they may have attacked Bizarane. I do not think he is dead, but we must see to him. Saturnin is watching us, I can sense it. If Bizarane is left undefended, it will be difficult for you to understand, but many did not consider Bizarane the true king of our house. While many wanted to war with the Tuatha, Bizarane stayed our hands. And while our house collapsed around us, Bizarane did nothing. I will not lie. Though I see the value of your presence, many felt that bringing a mortal into our ranks crossed the line. With you, Bizarane made his final error. Yes, unfortunately the doors to the house are barred from the inside. I am capable of shadow stepping through, but I'm afraid that you, as a mortal, must take a longer route. Go through the proving halls, but be warned, Bolgun roam those corridors now. Saturnin's already started moving to crush us. Farewell.
You have arrived as Tybri said you would. It is good that you were able to get through the proving halls unscathed. But there are greater events at work here. The house may have breathed its last. The rebels have begun a march of folly to make war on the Tuatha. As they said, they are rallying at a fortress called the Fallen Hall. I sought to stay them. They ignored me. I sought to warn them. They paid no heed. For them, the war started when I became the King of Sorrows. And now, my reign ends. Saturnin wants this, mortal. Without leadership, the rebels will be easily picked off. And so it falls to you and Tybri to save them. Years ago, the House of Sorrows and the Tuatha made a pact of necessity. The house would remain free of the Tuatha, but could not interfere with their war. In addition, the Tuatha demanded we appoint a more amiable king, one who would uphold the pact. And so I was named. I became the face of our submission, and when Saturnin led the Tuatha to fight us, the house had no reason left to heed me. Saturnin has made a miscalculation in moving to kill these rebels. Namely, he did not foresee you. We must exploit this fact. Saturnin will have to reveal himself in some form. Go south and learn all you can from him. Kill him if possible. I have instructed Tybri to assist you as best she can, but she is not as suited to this work as you, mortal. Look after her. They are in the Fallen Hall. Save who you can, but more importantly, we must learn what we can of Saturnin. Members of the House may choose one of two paths. The path of the Delver, or the path of the Tender. Delvers are those who commune with the sorrows of the living Fae and the recently deceased. They draw forth these sorrows and assume them. However, most Delvers lost their talent over these last few centuries. But our youngest, Tybri, shows some promise. To your kind, it is a celebration of war. But before your mortal corpses were hung there by Tuatha, it was the emblem of our house's duty. The most reverent corpses were placed not in the midden, but hung upon those boughs to show all of nature that we still revere our essence of decay. But like all things in these lands, the tree has been defiled by war. Saturnin took our greatest symbol and turned it to filth. My summer brethren embody the growth and progression of nature. As such, establishing the summer realms came easy to them. But the winter Fae bear the burden of regression and decay in their essence. Left alone, they would never be able to overcome such a weight. They could never unite. The house's founder, the Weeping King, took on their sorrows and freed them. We carry the burden inherent in the Winter Fae, so they can achieve greatness. He has wreaked havoc within the house and loosed horrors that none of us dare witness a second time. He is our foe, and he must be stopped. The Tenders are those sacred few who oversee the decay and decomposition of a Winter Fae's body. They also oversee the Midden itself. For like a body, the Midden is a physical thing, a vessel for rot and ruin, that which is required for death to become rebirth. Finally, they once tended to the gallows tree, but that was before the Tuatha perverted it. The Midden is the cradle in which our race of winter was fostered. It is a place of rot, of decay, a place where the House of Sorrows holds reign. The Far Kelidae, they call themselves. The Faithful. They take the Fae of Winter and craft them into an army. But they know little of true devotion.
Hi there, hero.
Good, you are here. Claren has filled this place with Jotun mercenaries. He must not have had that much faith in the Tuatha cause. We cannot let him escape. He must die. No doubt he has surrounded himself with Jotun guards. This will not be easy. I am not sure. We must find the Witch Knight, Claren, and defeat him. Many soldiers of the Alpha army were drafted, but I volunteered. I could not watch as my southern cousins were annihilated. I've been fighting alongside my brethren for years, and just as I was starting to think that this war would never end, you showed up. Thank you, hero, for giving me hope. They are vile creatures. I do not know how anyone can stand to be around them. You would have to be desperate to hire them as mercenaries. The wind is ferocious, the rocks are sharp, and the water is still and black. You could not find a more inhospitable place. I have never encountered another Fae like him. He is one of the most sadistic generals of the Tuatha army. I do not think he even cares about their religion anymore. He just wants to see the world bathed in blood. Until the next time. Countless Alpha fell to his blades. My friends, my comrades. Even seeing his broken body does nothing to lessen my anger. All of the Tuatha will suffer for their barbarity. Thank you, hero. I will return to the main Alpha army with the news of the Witch Knight's death. Until next time.
Garner or Barton? I don't know which one would have led us out of this alive, of those of us that are still around. All I know is I need to close up the windows, check the cellar, and pray the spiders don't find the cracks in the shingling. Keep safe.
You're one of us. Whether you like it or not. Marked for... Beware the forest.
That must be the leader. That was the leader. It must have been Saturnin. And if he's heading in there, that must be where the rest of the House of Sorrows are. We have to get past this door. We need to stop him before the rebels are all killed. The Fallen Hall is a fortress in the Phalanx. To get to its heart, we will need to open 3 great doors. There should be 2 other sigil stones that we can use in addition to the one before us. They will grant us passage. The Fallen Hall is well known in these lands for its strong defenses. There are 3 sigil stones that control the Holdfast's mighty doors. They are strewn throughout the hall. Activate all of them and the path to the Holdfast will be open. Farewell.
The gods decide.
Is cleared. Farewell.
Oh, this is splendid. I was worried I would have nothing left to see to after I slaughtered these wretches. You are mistaken, little one. I am not Saturnin. Though I can see where you might have made such a mistake. Even I have not seen his face. But I have heard his voice, and the orders it carries. And that is enough. Now, let us fight. You are more amusing than I originally believed. But my master has given me instructions to spare you. Saturnin has a message for you to deliver to your master. This war is over. Soon the sorrows will belong to the Tuatha.
I can scarcely believe it. All this death, all this destruction, and we have nothing to show for it. No Saturnin, no safety. The Weeping King left the world with good cause. For all that is left of the House of Sorrows is ruin. We must return to Bizrain with this news. He will want to know what has happened here. Farewell. Yes?
Saturnin. This latest wound he has dealt may be fatal. He need only for us to succumb, and then he can find these sorrows. So that is what we will deny him. Let our losses harden our resolve. Where once we sought victory, we shall now seek attrition. Fae are the embodiment of magic. When a Delver takes the burden of winter from a Fae, those burdens are in the form of magic. Over centuries, these magics have been collected, contained in a secret location. The sorrows that Saturnin seeks. It is a difficult magic for a mortal mind to grasp, but the accumulation of centuries of sorrows is a fearsome weapon indeed. The burden of a single lifetime of sorrows can be debilitating. Their impact can instill madness or drive a life to end itself. Saturnin would hold a millennium of sorrows. With them, he could obliterate an army's morale and send them from victory to bedlam. Their location is an ancient secret. Only two Fae, the eldest, know. They left the house centuries ago to reside in Amalur. The way to them is blocked by the Great Scale, a mighty spell which you must bypass. That alone will open your path to the eldest. You must kill beasts on the pans of the scale. Death is the only weight it will bear. They know where the Sorrows, Saturnin's true target, reside. We must rouse them from their reverie and learn from them. To reach them, one must brave the road southward to Amalur and pass the Great Scale.
Sorrow precedes you, mortal. It is almost enough to shift the great scale on its own. It has been centuries since my reverie was last disturbed. For what cause are you here? What could a mortal possibly want with me? Bizarrain, I have been sealed in here for some time, mortal. But even I know this one. His is the hand that leads the House of Sorrows, no? I know something of the war this land cries of. I will serve. But before I go to his side, you must find Amalur. She and I are as one. Once, long ago, Amalur and I walked the midden as faithful devotees of the Weeping King. She a tender, and I a delver. We were the first of our kind. But when the Weeping King passed, there was nothing. The House of Sorrows that he had built no longer served death, but the winter court that it itself had created. So Amalur and I left. We came here. We devoted ourselves to the contemplation of death, as the Weeping King would have wanted. It is not the way things are meant to be, mortal. Amalur and I came to this place together centuries ago, and so we must leave together. The location of the Sorrows is too much for one mind to bear, save perhaps the Weeping King. If Bizarrain seeks this knowledge, he will need Amalur as well as me. She tends to the scale as I have for these many centuries. You must reset the scale in order to reach her chamber. Very well. If I am to be of use, very well.
How curious. You are mortal, but your steps resound with a burden greater than any one mortal might ever hope to bear. More curious still is your presence here. The great scale is not idly moved, nor is my reverie broken without cause. What is your purpose? I have felt the shifting of the scale. I know that Caelrod has now ended his contemplations to serve the King of Sorrows. It is no small thing that he asks, for the knowledge that was given to us by the Weeping King was never to propagate nor to be exploited. But I know of the times that are upon us. Come, let us join with Caelrod. If Bizarrain and you are to find the Sorrows, then it is more than my knowledge you will need. Where we must meet, come, and the eldest will be reunited before you. Goodbye. I am gladdened that Caelrod and I are united once again. But if Bizarrain truly seeks the Sorrows, then he will need more than the knowledge of the eldest. There is a key of sorts to the Sorrows. It lies in the hollow of Sincere, the hollow of the Weeping King. We must recover it. Yes, a mortal is not suited to this task, perhaps, but I do not believe we have time to find another to do this for us. We have not asked you to reunite us without cause. Our efforts must be divided. Bizarrain must be instructed, and the key must be found. One of us will accompany you to Sincere, and the other will go to the house. We leave the choice to you, mortal. Caelrod and I have different skills, but both of us are capable of guiding you through Sincere. I do not deny there will be hardships we must combat. For that, I rely on my Fey Blades, while Kael'rod uses his magics. Which is of more use is up to you. Very well. I have not had cause to use my blades in some time. I will shadow step to Sincere, and await you to meet me there. Our work awaits, mortal. Let us make haste. Goodbye.
Tear not away. Mortal.
Hello. Hi there, hero. Can I help? Hi there, hero. Can I help?
Another dustling of fire.
Hey! Yeah? Been fighting for days, but damn, Alf, you can't walk from here to Shadow Pass.
Let us beat the cycle.
Just remember what I said. It's dangerous. With tremendous difficulty. Even so, there weren't as many Tuatha here, and we used magic to keep us hidden. Magic which you provided, in fact. You never did explain where you got those fascinating little artifacts. Agarth wanted me to keep an eye on Lady Shear, but you and I need to have a talk first. I've been reviewing my notes of our last trip to Alabastra, and I've come to some startling conclusions about your death and Tirnoch. I don't know exactly, but it must have been a tremendously powerful source of magic. So powerful that the Well of Souls couldn't help but pick up on it. You were attuned to the well in my lab, but Hugh's well captured your essence. The power in Bale seems to have been the missing element. What's more, I think that power is the source of the Prismere crystals. Something intelligent and malignant. The creature the Tuatha called Tirnoch. Something incredibly powerful. I don't know if we even have a name for what she is, because no one's lived to name it. She's not a god. She's something much, much worse. And judging by the growth of this Prismere, she's very close to coming into our world for good. Whatever Gadflow's been doing, it's all in order to bring her here. So you've got to stop him before it's too late.
With horrors, screams, and ghostly face, we leave blood in a graven place. The forest black and nighttime sky, the blood that pours forth from your eye. A feast for maggots, craven all, that eat the dying when they fall. Instead of vibrant fighting flesh that fights the barghest and the thresh, that knows the plight of Seelie Fae, you who walked the Niralim's way, and reckon fates of mortal dust, and keep an oath or break a trust. We hunger for your corpse once more, to hear your cries and anguished roar.
You must hurry. There is much to do. Gask and his forces are preparing to march. They know about the caves and will not cease until every last one of us has been slain. And there are the survivors of Eventide to consider. I have not heard a whisper from across the pass. And Esha, she plots a fool's errand. We must stop her. Much to do. Forgive me. Ever since the Tuatha came, omens of our destruction besiege me. My every notion is of escape and salvation. When he refused to worship Gadflow's god of smoke and ash, he thought first to kill us, but then chose a far grimmer fate. He made us his example. He sent Gask. First, Gask's priests destroyed the clans. Then he burned the bodies of the fallen and breathed in their essence, mocking the dead and the great cycle itself. One day, that is all Gask needed to unravel many seasons of the telling, to make the earth shudder and the sky weep. Now he sits above us, watching. Ashmore and Eventide stand astride the pass, the corridor leading from Bale to the wider world. When we refused to stand aside for him, he ripped his way through. Wonderful! Your attack will give us time to organize an escape. Do not underestimate Gask. He is among Gadflow's best for a reason. His camp of Kansamir is to the north, but you must defeat his witch knights along with the Fae himself. I have faith in you. He lords over Twilight Pass from the plateau above, rarely seen, his minions executing his bloody work. Both he and they prefer it thus. Victory will be yours.
Prepare for a reckoning.
Agarth will not be far behind you. Neither of us saw any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrinio. A scout on the ridge above saw the Tuatha mounting for a counterattack. You should hear what he has to say before we move on. If you'd rather not wait, talk with Agarth. Time is of the essence. Agarth, if he tells you he's ready, then my people are as well. Of course, if you wish to proceed with caution, the scout on the ridge will know what we're up against. Careful.
There you. Good to see you here. Ready? I am. But there hasn't been any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrinio. Damn it all, I knew we couldn't trust her. I sent Ventrinio to keep an eye on her. He was sending me messages until recently. But there were fewer and fewer as we've gotten closer to Baal. We need to get through the House of Vengeance and kill the Cur. And we'll have to do it without them. He's the closest thing Vengeance has to a leader anymore. A face so consumed with hatred that he's little more than a beast. If you're going to get into Baal, the Cur has to die. We'll go as far as we can. Whatever is happening in Baal needs to be stopped as quickly as possible. Listen, you're more powerful than I ever was. If anyone can stop this, it's you. When you kill the Cur, you go into Baal and stop Gadflow. If we get separated, I'll keep fighting to keep an escape route open for you. Now go! Stay on guard. Onwards! We're nearly there. Looks like this is it. Looks like this is it.
My deepest apologies for not being able to join the battle. Ventrinia was something of a hassle. He attacked me. It was only a matter of time before his greed got the better of him. The closer we got to Bale, the more obsessed he became with Tianok, and with harnessing Tianok's power, just like Gadflow did. That's why he had to be stopped, and why we need to talk about our mission. I wasn't sure I could trust you. You're not the same person you used to be. We're running out of time. I'll explain as we go. Lead on. I'm right behind you. Fighting at your side, just like the old days, before you died. You and I carry on a duty that has been fulfilled for centuries. We keep the world from being consumed by greed, by war, and by Tianok. The ancient beast must stay sealed away at any cost. The world must never realize the terrible power Tianok offers. When Gadflow's army arose, we recognized Tianok's tainted influence. Only a force like her could warp eternal creatures like the Fae. So you came to infiltrate Alabastra. If you couldn't stop Tianok, she would use her paw. You had to
The
try.
winter court was still
Even
as
though the
fallen
fate weaver
snow as
said
the
you would
jester
do.
danced and capered.
As always,
Juggling knives
the
and
fate
torches,
weavers
he
were
sang
right.
to his lords and ladies, but none smiled. Not an eyebrow raised as the snivelling jester imitated the king. Not even when he took the crown from
when
his
I found
head.
you in Dalentarth,
Because
when
this
I
was
saw
the
you
day
come
that
back to
Gadflow
life,
murdered the
I
winter
wasn't
court.
sure how much you remembered.
This was the day
I
the
couldn't be
Tuatha
certain
were
you would
born,
keep our
and our
secrets.
people became
I
a
considered
sacrifice
killing
for
you then and
Tyrna.
there. Nothing personal. You would have done the same to me. But then I saw what you had become. I saw the new powers you wielded. And I saw how useful you could be. When I saw you could change fate, I knew you were our only choice. So I helped you continue your mission to stop Tianok, even if this is the end. This is no time to dawdle. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
It was a time of change. The cycles of the seasons turned as ever, but inside the bones of the earth, there lurked a cold. It was not the cold of winter. Beside the houses of sorrows, pride and vengeance, a new turmoil fomented. A magic hitherto unseen.
Last time you came here, you were destined to die. This time, your destiny is up to you. Now we have a chance to finally complete our mission. Let's put an end. This must have been a lot for you to take in at once. But I need you to be clear on who you are. and what you need to do. A lot has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time. And last time it killed you. Oh, she's a creature with incredible power. A dragon. But she is no simple lizard in some child's tale. She has a power rivaled only by the gods. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Alpha sealed her in the Amathen between this world and the world of magic. And there she went mad. As her prison weakened over time, she was able to tempt Gadflow into helping her gain enough power to break free. And if she escapes fully, it will mean the end of all mortal life. Tiernok's revenge for tens of thousands of years of imprisonment. That's why people like you and I have dedicated our lives to keeping Tiernok secret from the world. We were supposed to keep Tiernok hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tiernok away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. Everyone who knows the truth of Tiernok will be dead, and Tiernok will be sealed away once again. We can return to our duty of keeping the knowledge secret, assuming that's the life you want to return to. But if you refuse, then I'd have to make sure you never tell the truth about Tiernok. Of course, I'd rather it didn't come to that. But you would have done the same. Huh. I have more important things to do than love. And so do you. But I do trust you with the fate of my world. It may not set your heart aflutter to hear it, but it'll have to do. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
You don't understand, do you? The power of Tiernok. Yes! Return to your grave! Tiernok, lend me your power! Crumble, child of dust! Lend me your power!
Something's not right. If Gadflow isn't here, then he must be hiding further underground, someplace closer to the source of the Prismere. Definitely. The war's not over yet. Whatever bargain Gadflow made with Tiernok, it's about to pay off. When that happens, the world will not be spared her wrath. She's imprisoned deep in the Amathen, but Gadflow's war has weakened her bonds. There's no time to spare. If she gets free, our world is lost. This way. Tiernok is held captive deep in the Amathen, but her prison is weakening by the moment.
I feel you here again, full of life. full of fate. What have you brought?
I can feel Tiernok's eyes upon us.
You've used your power well. So much potential. Let's have a taste, shall we?
She just tore out a part of the fates you've stolen and turned it against you. Perhaps it is not inaccurate to think of her as a god.
I have been imprisoned here since before your kind emerged from the dark. But now, my freedom draws near.
We cannot let Gadflow free Tiernok.
Godflow's prayers weakened this prison, but he is not the one who will set me free. This is your
Don't listen. You're the only one who has the power to stop her.
When you first came to me, death was your only fate, but I was better this week. And you were so eager to play your role.
You chose this? What does she mean by that?
I gave you freedom, and now you have returned to grant me mine.
Only you have the power to reseal Tiernok inside the Amathen. I must keep the secret of her existence from the world. Once Tiernok is pushed back into her prison, these caverns must be sealed. But that leaves one question. Can I trust you to keep Tiernok secret? There are things in this world that must remain hidden. If the power of the dragons were widely known, well, you've seen what has happened here. Gadflow tapped a fraction of her power. He upset the great cycle of the Fae and waged a genocidal war on the young races. Just coming in contact with her power managed to free you from fate's bonds. And if you can turn that freedom against her, she will have no power over Amalur. Nothing like you has ever existed before. As always, there's no way of knowing your future. If you're victorious, it may be the last time you change the fate of the world. Even if you fall back into fate's weave once her influence is gone from this world, it will be a far better fate than what Tiernok's emergence would bring. That is excellent. After all that you've done, it would have been a shame for you to die a second time. If you do escape, I will be watching you. And know this, anyone who learns the truth of what happens here, I will silence myself. Go. Stop Tianak from fully entering this world. But remember, my blades will always be at your back. Nothing in the world is fated to stop Tianak. That's why you're the only one who has a chance. I'm just here to make sure you take it. This way. There's no turning back now.
Come, Fate Weaver. Bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world.
It's time to choose your fate. Amethin lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tianak. Attend your final hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come. Go!
Ah, yes. Welcome back, mortal. How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger? Can you feel it echo through the air? And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tianak, the destruction of the Alpha, and the dawn of the endless winter. She comes. Tianak the powerful. Tianak the merciful. Qualla fella Tianak. Qualla sera Tianak. Tianak? Have I done well, lady? Are you pleased? Is it that
You have served your purpose.
But I have so much more to give.
And now, Fateless One, you shall serve yours. Come closer. Give yourself to me. shall crumble and fall before me. Yes! Struggle, fight, and die, just as you did before. The destruction of this world is the first step on my path. You are nothing but dust. Why won't you die? All that you know shall crumble and fall before me. Impossible!
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated. The order to which I belong had other plans. Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return. But let us not speak of this. Your life is your own. Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring. Perhaps one day in happier times, you and I will meet again. Until that day, I remain. Yours, Aelin Shear.